Okay, so for this next part, I'm going to show off the actual UI and the external applications I've developed using the CMS as a backend. So I have two CMSs running, and I've set up two external applications. So they're very basic applications, but they're fully decentralized. So in the CMS, you can see we can create new collections, and we can add in as many properties as we want. You put in a collection name, and then a name for the property you want, and you can do, as I mentioned, string, number, Boolean, and rich text types. Okay, and you can see we have the different collections I've created on this CMS. This is for a static medical app, and you can see these are the rich text options we have, and we can edit and delete these and update them. So for example, this says welcome to our hospital. I'm going to update this to say welcome to our practice, and then I can update the row. Yeah, you see welcome to our practice. It's worth noting as well, the rich text editor, because we're saving our rich text as HTML tags, whereas a sanitization function that prevents malicious tags being added to it. So only tags available from the rich text editor allow put in. So H2s, P tags, ULs. Yeah, so that's then if someone put in a script tag, it won't be added to the database. It'll be sanitized. We also, in the API, we have single resource routes. And similarly, we can do full CRUD on these. I'm using them as feature flags at the moment. So all of these correspond to a feature on the static medical website, which I'll show off in a second. And then I can enable and disable them, which I'll show when I get there. There's a very basic user page, so you can see what users have used your decentralized user authentication. I only have one set up. For future development as well, I would have liked to add in user roles to this, but just, yeah, limitations and time. But again, in future, I would add an option for users to add in their own user roles. This is the documentation page that's automatically generated based off of the models the user creates. So it just goes through like how to use the documentation, how the peers works, what a singles is, and how to use the authentication routes. And then it will also just generate all these CRUD endpoints based on the resources that the users define themselves. Like for example, we have information about prescriptions, which actually I can show you up here. Click on prescription. And you can see, yeah, we have this data here. So then it will spin up documentation to how to access this data. We also have our response table, so we can see whenever a response is made and if there's issues with it. So for example, yeah, like this is one here was made API collections to the homepage route to get one specific item from the homepage. So they're accessing one item in the thing. And then also we have this very basic profile page where the user can just log out and they can configure peers. When running in dev, this is a built version, so we can add new peers, but these are the peers we have currently. So there's 3 peers in the network, the dashboard itself, the public server, and then this local one I'm running as well, which is actually the other dashboard, funnily enough. But so this is the medical app. There's register and log in. I'm going to log in. So obviously the UI for all this is very basic, but it's just the actual backend decentralized stuff that's important. So this is fully decentralized user authentication through my CMS. You can see all the requests coming through. And these, again, just very basic static website. This is all coming from the rich text defined in the app. These are all coming from the prescriptions table I defined, and these are from the staff table I defined. And I can show you the feature flags I was talking about if I go over here. So for example, if I don't want to show the staff paragraph anymore, I can update this. And I don't want to show the prescription cards anymore, I can update this as well. And then if I go back here and I reload, they shouldn't appear on the screen because they've been turned off by the CMS, as you can see. And I just have this other basic page just to show off the rich text features. So we can have italics, we can have bold, we can have titles, we can have regular text, we can have unordered lists, and we can have ordered lists. It's also worth noting that the CMS is not just for static websites. You can have full CRUD. You can make full apps that are fully decentralized relatively quickly and easily with the CMS. This is a very basic example I've made where I've set up a little to-do app that is fully decentralized. So, and it's connected to this CMS here, and you can see these are all the to-dos I have that are represented here. So for example, I could add in a new to-do. For example, if I want to eat lunch, that's one of the things I have to do. I can save it. You can see the request goes through, and to check that it's actually gone through, if we reload, this should persist because it's coming from the CMS. And then you can see it should pop up here. Yeah, eat lunch. There it is. And then I can mark, and you can see back here, it's marked as false. And if I go in here, I can mark it as done. Should go through. Then you see, again, if I reload, yeah, it's marked as done. And also we can delete old to-dos we don't need anymore. For example, I walked the dog the other day, so I can delete this. I've eaten my lunch. I can delete that as well. And if we go back here, we should see walk the dog and eat lunch. And if I reload, yeah, so walk the dog and have lunch are gone. Obviously, this is an incredibly basic example, but previously before the CMS, to create a decentralized to-do app, even one this basic, would take very long. This was able to be developed relatively quickly, and the potential is very big here, where you could make a big decentralized app with full CRUD for different resources.